we doing?
Good. Kenny, I don't know if you heard what Mike said yesterday about the need to get the mojo back that you had in the preseason. How do you do that, and is it easier said than done?
Yeah, staying together. Obviously, this isn't the start that we wanted, not what we worked for, not what we talk about doing. So we need to stay together, play the next play, and just keep improving. That's got to be the goal.
Kenny, do you feel like you lost your identity, or what is the identity right now?
We're going to find it. I mean, clearly we don't have one. We need to stay together, like I keep saying. It's a team game. It's an ultimate team game. One guy does something wrong on one play as an offense, it usually doesn't go your way. So we got to stay together. Don't let the popcorn effect happen where it's one guy each play, which is just, comes with staying at it and working.
I know you targeted George 10 times. How much can he kind of help you guys get your mojo back?
Yeah, I mean, he's unbelievable player. We got to try and find ways to get him the football, even when like I said, throughout that game you watch it, they try to double him a lot, and continue to be unique, move him around, just get him the football and then let him do his thing.
Kenny, how's your confidence in the groups?
Still high, absolutely. I mean, I watch how these guys work every single day. I know what we can do. When you watch the tape, you see things that aren't us. We want to be perfect out there. You're never going to be perfect, but that's what you're pushing for. Confidence is still sky high with every guy on the team.
Kenny, when you watch the tape, do you get encouraged by what you see, or do you kick yourself sometimes watching?
There's good plays, there's bad plays. That's how it's going to go every game. Right now, there's just too much bad popping up that we need to get off the tape. So whatever it needs to be, whether it's meaning more, being on the field more, guys are trying to do everything they can to get better. So that's what matters, and we got to go out there and put our best foot forward on Sunday night.
Kenny, are you seeing the attitude that you want to see as far as willing to?
The attitude's there, man. People are going to be frustrated. We're not playing the way we want to play. No one likes this feeling. Obviously, from a fan base standpoint, from being on the team, nobody wants that, offense out there that we're putting out right now. We got to be better. We know we have to be better. So everyone's in here working and pushing towards that.
What are your conversations with your offense like this week?
Pretty much what I'm telling you right now. It's very, I can't give you guys some magical answer. I'm going to continue to be, consistent with my message to you guys, consistent with the team. That way we're all pushing towards the same goal. So it's play the next play. This is not what we want to be. We understand that. We're going to get better. We're going to keep working at it. It'll happen for us.
How about your conversations with Matt Canada? I mean, what do you two talk about when you go back and look at the tape and what took place?
We're going to keep pushing forward. We're going to get, I don't know how many times I'm going to give you the same. That is the message. You have to, this isn't an easy game. You're playing good defenses. That you got to continue to work. It's not going to happen overnight. I get it. Everyone wants those 40-point games. It didn't happen right now. I get it. We're going to continue to push for it. Everyone's showing up ready to work, and that's the goal. We're going to get there. We just got to keep going.
You said last week, Tom, you might have, I may be paraphrasing, but essentially that the only thing wrong with was the throws. You thought the decision-making, the scheme, that people were this week, same thing looking back at it?
There was an improvement. There's throws I wish I had back, of course. There's going to be every game. Ever since I started playing football, you're never going to have a perfect game. You want to continue to strive for that. There's always going to be that. We want to minimize those and continue to take the easy stuff, make the big plays when they're there, which we, pushed them down the field to George, which was great. Want to give Calvin some more opportunities to continue to let him come into this offense and be his own, but there's definitely improvement there.
Do you feel like you guys learned some things about how defenses are going to cover you without Deontay in the lineup, maybe that you can use going forward?
I think, yeah, that's a good way of putting it. I mean, understanding how people may prepare for us these couple of weeks without 18 out there, he's a huge piece for us that we don't have. Now with George, continuing to be him and doing what he's doing, guys need to step up on the other side of him, and we got to continue to, spread the ball around. So that's going to be a challenge.
Kenny, going back to what Mike Tomlin was talking to us about the offense looking to play more fast and fluid. Is that almost the antithesis effect for a quarterback, though? I mean, like, do you almost want it to slow down? Does slowing down help you play fast, almost?
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. I just want to, get back to playing the offense that we know we could be, balanced, running the football, having the play action off it, getting guys the ball down the field. It just seems like we're missing one element of that each. These 2 times we've been out, we've been missing an element. I think that's what's been hurting us.
Kenny, do you see the commitment of the defense is trying to stop the run as well, and is that something you guys are working to get going?
There's a commitment there, but I think it comes down to execution. In the pass game and the run game, it's about us going out there and playing and executing, and we're not doing it at the level we need to be doing it right now.
Does literal tempo, like playing faster,
You're talking like no huddle aspect? That goes. I mean, you can always do that. That's a way of trying to get into rhythm and keeping the defense on their heels. We mix it up a little bit. We could do more. That could be an option.
Kenny, you mentioned identity a minute ago.
Do you have an idea what you want that to be, or are you still trying to figure out what it will
I've been
be?
pretty consistent in saying balanced. We want to be a balanced. We have great backs. We have a great offensive line. We got receivers. We have the pieces to be balanced, and we haven't been that yet. And I think when we become that, we'll be the offense we want to be.
Kenny, what's
Usually
the
those early game plays, the script, if you will, are the ones you kind of like the best, and those have not been working for you at all. What's the level of frustration with that? Is there anything you can put your finger on that's going wrong in those first couple drives for you?
Some things you may see on tape, it may be different. The looks may be different than what you were expecting. Like it's execution. Then when it comes down to it, the call gets put in there. We have to make the play go. So, I was fine with all the plays. It's just execution based.
Kenny, what's just the level of excitement to be back on the primetime stage another week, Sunday Night Football, eyes of the nation on you guys?
Yeah, it's all. It was an unbelievable atmosphere. Huge shout out to our fans that were there, and it was loud, and we felt it. It was awesome to be a part of that night and come out with the win, which is the most important stat. So we want to go out to Vegas and get that most important stat, this week.
And you were talking about in the last game afterwards that you feel like there's like one play that would put you behind the sticks. As you went back and watched the film, was there a consistent theme?
To me, that's what it felt like. We would have a drive going, and then it was a 1st and 10 call or 2nd and 10 where we didn't, execute, and we put ourselves behind the chains, and that's when you're in 3rd and long against a really good pass rush. You're not getting guys out. It's tough to throw the ball down the field. So we got to eliminate those plays, stay ahead of the chains, and that's where I feel like the more balanced we can be, the better.
In terms of the Raiders specifically, you just played a Cleveland team where they were known for 2 corners, which just played great the week before. Played the Niners that were really good with the defense over the middle of the field. What vibe you getting from the Raiders?
Yeah, when the special player in '98, huge amount of respect for him and how hard he plays. He never comes off the field. He's great against the run. He's great against the pass. He causes guys fits. So we got to, manage him and do our best to not let him affect the game like we have with these previous 2, pass rushers that are really good. We have a stretch of 3 games here where we're playing some really good talent up front. So that's the goal. They got secondary guys that run really well. A veteran guy in 24 that's played a lot of football. He makes a lot of plays. Old friend, Spillane in the middle. It'd be cool to see him out on the field. He's an unbelievable player, great in the run. Underrated, I think, in the past with his speed. I remember throwing routes to him when I first got here. He's just an athletic middle linebacker. So they have great players all over the place. It's another really tough task for us. We got to come ready.
Kenny, you came short yardage situations, 3rd and 1, 4th and 1. We've seen a lot of teams around the league do that kind of scrum, push, whatever they're calling it, especially the Eagles. Do you feel like you're adept at doing that? Is that something you're comfortable with doing in those moments?
Yeah, we have different ways of getting to a QB sneak, I'm assuming is what you're saying. Yeah, we have different ways of getting to it. Each team does it differently. We have our ways.
Kenny, you came in with Jalen. You saw him convert that big 3rd down before the 71-yard pass. Where have you seen him grow, and do you think there are more opportunities for him here?
Consistently, 30 shows up making plays. He's a guy that needs to get the football, run, pass, whatever it may be. He continually pops and makes those explosive plays for us. So we got to, continue to focus on getting him the football as well.
Kenny, I know Pat hasn't had a lot of opportunities here. Has there been chances in the middle of the field for you guys, and how do you maybe take care of those?
Yes and no. You want to get him the football as well. Like you keep hearing, there's a lot of guys we have. Some games it may be George, some games it may be Pat, it may be Tay when he's out there healthy, or Calvin. We're still figuring that out, how the ball gets dispersed, and ultimately the defense kind of dictates, coverage based where I'm heading with it.